Omnibroslive. Oh, you pimps. You guys are such pimps.
Hey.
Omnibroslive. Oh, you guys think it's funny. I'm Omnidog. Welcome to Omnibroslive with Comics Guide 101 and Extreme Gabe.
Welcome to, let's see how close Gabe and Luis can make it on.
I assume you had your own private chat.
No.
How close can we do this?
That's a good idea, though.
Before we go any further, let's settle this. Who was on first? Because I think that's important right now.
I was on first.
Well, not you. You're obviously the least important part of this conversation. Me or Gabe, who was on first?
You beat him by a split second.
Yes.
I want to know who's on second. Or what's on second, or however that joke goes.
Who's on first?
How does that joke go? Yeah.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know. Is on third, I think. Yes. So we've got 3, and I believe Gio is trying to work with his internet to get on with us.
That's the same problem I had. I had to work with my internet real quick.
Okay, wait. I'm getting some advice here.
Sell all your comics.
So we just have them inside of the shelf. So the top panel, but no directly in show. Inside of the shelf.
What is happening here?
Okay. Our proud sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. They're having a 3% off sale this week. What's the code? What's happy weekend? Yay, it's the weekend. Something. You can go to your email and see. I actually don't even know what the code is.
You can go to our Instagram. Where it is on there, Omnibros to find a discount code that ends. Is it in tomorrow night? Is it through Labor Day? Oh, I'll double check. I spent too much time on Instagram yesterday because of work. It's through the end of the day on Monday, September 2nd. So it's good till then. And the code is It's the Weekend.
It's the weekend.
Word.
Okay. And 3% off. Doesn't stack, but it's still 3% off, which would have helped me because I didn't have 2% from last week. If I had only waited until Friday, I'd have gotten 3% instead of bupkis, which is what I got. So it would have really helped me. But it's still okay. I still got 50% off, which is not too shabby. Every quarter, there's an Omnibros Live discount, which is a fabulous discount. If you're in the United States and you order $50 or more worth of books, you can get free shipping, fabulous packaging, fabulous customer service. That's InStockTrades.com. Anybody?
It's the to-do arrow.
Is it Green Acres?
Very good. Gabe
I
is
have no idea.
I know my old 1940s TV shows.
1940s. There wasn't even television then. How dare you?
Good old black and white TV. I was thinking about that earlier today, how just technology's changed so much, and we're like on like 25K video now or whatever.
I know.
And before, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, even back when I was younger watching TV, you didn't want to watch the black and white stuff because it was black and white and that was weird. And I wonder if that's just the same for kids today who don't want to watch like hand-drawn animation cartoons anymore. They grew up and they're adapted to just a computer animation stuff.
I mean, there are still a handful of shows out there with kind of semi-traditional hand-drawn stuff. It's enhanced with computers, but you've got Steven Universe and Adventure Time.
Yeah, but I remember watching black and white shows, and then they would become
yeah.
color later. You're like, well, this color is really weird. Like, is this what people think color looks like? And then people are smoking in doctors' offices. I've been watching Mindhunter, and there's a lot of that.
Smoking in doctors' offices.
And on airplanes. It's weird.
Used to be able to smoke in airplanes and restaurants and doctors' offices. Times have changed.
Yeah. I mean, you watch old Johnny Carson shows, and everybody, if guests are smoking, he's smoking, they're all smoking on air.
Yeah. That was the time that you thought smoking was actually good for you.
Yeah, well, I know they used to say reach for a smoke instead of a sweet back in the 40s and 50s to lose weight.
Get cancer, not diabetes.
Yeah.
What was in World War II? What was the cigarettes that they would provide to GIs? It was.
I think Lucky Strikes.
That's what it was.
Because that's what my dad was addicted to. Was unfiltered Lucky Strikes.
That's what it was. Yeah,
is what killed him. I don't even think they still. I don't think they sell unfiltered cigarettes anymore, but they did back in the 70s and 80s, and that's eventually what he died from.
I had a friend that used to smoke Lucky Strikes because of like the Rat Pack. He was really big into the Rat Pack, so he smoked Lucky Strikes too.
Now you've got vaping. Vaping is a new thing.
That is supposed to be all I'm reading now is how bad that's supposed to be for you, like worse than cigarettes. I don't know how, but I don't even know. I haven't vaped, so I don't know what the deal is. But
I've never vaped. I've never looked into it too much. I've always thought as vaping is like I just don't want to get addicted to cigarettes. So I'm going to get addicted to vaping instead. It's like okay,
yeah,
I'd rather just smoke weed.
Word. So what's up, everybody? How you guys been? What's going on? Hey, Gio.
Gio, I apologize if I don't add you. You seem to be dropping in and out.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be on. I'm sorry. It just keeps going on and off, and it's inconsistent, and nobody wants to see that. So I'll try and if I drop, then just I'll quit.
Do you have something really important to say? Any really important news or opinions? Because if so, say it now.
Watch this week as we review these books because they're awesome. So stay tuned for that Monday or Thursday.
Murder Falcon, she wrote.
Yeah, that's a badass book.
Are we reviewing that tomorrow? Tomorrow night?
Thursday.
Thursday? All right. I might have to do it off my phone depending. Well, I should be fine depending on the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how everything goes with my storm. Or I'll just, I don't know. Maybe I'll get ahead of it and review it tomorrow night if you guys are cool with it.
Yeah. I mean, we've done it in the past, or you guys have done it in the past.
Yeah.
Is that storm targeted towards you guys really bad or what?
It's all over the place right now. Last thing that we've heard was that it's going to become a Category 5 in the middle of the water, but then as it gets closer, it's going to downgrade back again because usually when it's a 5, it can't sustain it that much, and it just drops back down to a 4. And it's going to curve like this is what they're projecting so far. Now it could turn still, but it's going to curve and it's just going to skirt on the East Coast, and Orlando here is just going to get the outer bands, which is just tropical storm winds, which isn't that bad. So, in fact, people were pissed off because they bought like 50 cases of water and they were trying to return them this morning at Walmart. People were mad.
You can still drink that water later.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, but we'll see. Everything's going to be fine. I've been to so many of these damn things, I don't even worry about it anymore.
Look at you with your protein shake.
Yeah. I drink it every morning. I just got back from a 3-mile run, actually. I'm dying.
Nice. So what do you guys want to talk about today? What kind of crazy news has been going on?
Well, we had a pretty light week. We did have a major scandal, it appears, that I didn't really tune in very much the first time this guy pulled his antics, I guess. But now it looks like the hammer's really come down on him. And I own a significant amount of books by him, it turns out. And of course, I'm talking about Brian Wood. Does somebody have the full what's going on in this second? This is a second accuser that stepped forward, backing up the first accuser, or actually, I don't. I mean, I really shouldn't even comment because I don't. I did not read the article. I just saw something that said Dark Horse is now dropping Brian Wood.
I've got the news article. All right, so this is just the article. Okay, so whoever's out there, because there's going to be one that's probably going to get offended by this.
Okay.
We're just reading the news.
Just reading the news.
Comics Alliance founder Laura Hudson has issued new accusations of predatory behavior against comic writer Brian Wood. In a series of tweets, Hudson recalled an event where Wood forced him to kiss her, though he was married at the time. Following that encounter, according to Hudson, he reportedly continued to communicate with her, insisting his wife didn't understand him like Hudson did, and making lewd suggestions through text messages. As Hudson recounts her experience, she points out the power imbalance. As a young woman coming up in comics, she had looked up to Wood as a person known for creating strong female characters. Worse, she felt she had no power in the situation. Hudson isn't the first woman to come forward with accusations against Wood. This is actually true. A few years ago, there were accusations against him. In late 2013, artist Tess Fowler accused Wood by name as having feigned interest in her work in order to initiate a sexual encounter. Fowler's Twitter thread stated that he preyed on women for too long. Wood responded in kind, claiming he did make a pass at her at San Diego Comic-Con Hyatt Bar roughly 8 years ago. But when she declined, that was the conclusion of the matter for me. There was never a promise of quid pro quo, no exertion of power, no threats, and no revenge. According to Hudson, Wood reached out to her during the Fowler accusation. He began emailing her about innocuous objects like rock climbing, seemingly in an effort to maintain her silence. Hudson shared a screenshot of that email with the timestamp to show it happened the same day Fowler came forward. In her conclusion, Hudson wrote that she's seeking up now to warn other women in vulnerable situations. She addressed Wood directly, daring him to make himself out to be the victim in the situation. Okay, so again, this is the second time this has happened for him. This is also, again, he said, she said, and yeah, I'm not going to take any sides on this because I know the second I take sides, it's just going to end badly. I'm just delivering you the news, folks. Is it possible to happen? Absolutely. Is it possible that some things were taken out of context? Absolutely. Again.
So
yeah.
Laura, wait, did you say Tess Fowler or Laura Hudson was the one he kissed against her will?
That was Jesus. Hudson. Hudson was the one that said,
and that's the current accusation?
Yeah.
Okay, that's different. I mean, that's pretty. That's not cool. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but that's definitely different than trying to hit on someone.
Yeah,
that's assault. That
is obviously not a good thing. My thing is that also we are starting to get claims where people are just trying to hit on somebody, and it's happening where people are just hitting on somebody and they're immediately crying foul on somebody. But obviously putting your hands on a person against their will, kissing them against their will, that is a no-go, 100%. Me being a male, I'll be honest, I am very cautious nowadays to even try to hit on a woman. I really am.
That's fine. We all should be cautious of that.
Yeah, because you really don't know these days where I could say, oh, you're very beautiful. And next thing I've got a Twitter storm in my inbox or, I'm catching a hashtag. So so obviously this is a case where, it's he said, she said. I refuse to take sides on this because the minute you do, you get a shitstorm from people. I absolutely refuse to take a side on this. I'm just laying out the facts. So I've got my own personal opinions on this, and I'm not going to say what they are.
Well, we're not here to pick side or to figure out what we think is right or wrong with what happened with this.
Right, because we don't know what's true or not.
Exactly.
Correct. But I do think men should be more cautious, because I think throughout society and history, men have had that power struggle where we're above, and it's been used to as a male group to our advantage, and it should be dialed back. I do think hitting on people can be saying hitting on somebody is not a bad thing. I think it's incorrect. I think hitting on women can be a bad thing, and there is right and wrong ways of doing that, and the right and wrong ways are determined by the other person that you're hitting on. So we should be cautious. Everybody should be cautious. It's about respect, and it's about catcalling, and it's about drawing that line and having boundaries and having respectful, interactions. You don't need to, catcall or walk up to a woman and say, "I think you're beautiful." I think there's a progression, and it's always going from 0 to 100 in a lot of these cases. So I think that's all I have to say about that topic of things. But I'm glad to see more women coming out, because I think the more that women come out, the more that other women are coming out. There's statistics out there that show, like, it's something ridiculous. I forget what the statistic is, but like 1 out of like 400 come out, and out of that 400, less than 1 is even, prosecuted or taken to police. And I think that's a systematic way of predatory men, I guess leave it at that, take advantage of it. So
no, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know that I could add anything to that. You said that really well.
And it's terrible that it's coming from our industry, our fandom, or not even well, it happens in our fandom as well, but it's coming from, you hear this a lot more these days from people in the industry. So, and it's an industry that women have had troubles breaking into. And now that they are getting more opportunities to break into it, there's another scarier barrier that they have to go up against. Possibly.
Scarier barrier.
All right.
And with a history of, because it's been proven, for women have kept this stuff, and that was one of the good things about the Me Too stuff, is a lot of this stuff finally came out into light. I think that's really good. With a history that women haven't been believed in the past, and sometimes they're still not believed with these accusations.
It's always automatically, not almost automatically, but there's always the assumption, oh, she's just making it up, or she's taking a simple compliment and making a mountain out of a molehill, or things like that. Again, like, I've been watching shows based in like the 60s and the 70s, and you'll see that type of mentality, and you watch it now, you're like, oh, that is creepy, and that was the standard almost. So
right. And he hasn't actually been gone to jail or anything for this.
No.
So there's no, I mean, he hasn't, so there's been no crime. He hasn't been arrested. He hasn't been, prosecuted or anything. So I don't know that he's being unfairly targeted at all. I think that she's coming out and she's saying what she feels happened, and he's feeling the consequences of it.
Yeah, because Dark Horse now canceled his Aliens book.
If it did happen, if all of it actually did happen,
yeah.
But again, hit this apparent. We're trying to skirt around. Complete. Dedication to what happened or not happened. But again, his book got canceled, which affects everybody involved with that book because of his apparent actions. The artist is out of work, the inker's out of work, his editor is, out of a job, out of a gig, so there is a ripple effect on this type of activity. And I don't want to say that's deserved because these other folks don't deserve it, but it's also, there has to be some kind of consequences, and the shockwave that's felt through it is a part of why this is so serious. And again, I mean, we want more women in the industry. We want more creative people in the industry. I don't even think you've seen a male to female thing. I'm sure there's a lot of possibilities that are being same sex accusations of this as well. So it is just a problem with our society in general, and it is being now felt in our niche of an industry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's worse in lots of other industries. I mean, movies and music industry.
Oh my gosh, yeah, in Hollywood, it's rampant. It's been rampant since 1920.
Dark Horse released a statement. The beat. Effective immediately, Dark Horse will not pursue any new projects with Brian Wood. Dark Horse has canceled the upcoming series, Aliens, Colonial Marines, Rising Threat. Tough break, man. Go find out a Comicsgate book or something. I'm sure you'll do well there. So, there's that. Anyway, what else we got?
I mean, we don't want to go into details because I know Jess and I are staying away from any kind of spoilers or anything like that. And there's really no spoilers involved when we talk about this, which is the Joker movie has been getting incredible, raving, screaming, manic reviews from everybody that's seen it so far. It is. I saw
the most recent trailer.
No, not the trailer. The actual film.
Oh,
the actual film.
It's been released for audiences.
Not for the general public, but I think it's been to critics and to I'm sorry, I need more coffee. It's critics and to other celebrities and that type of thing. There's a video somebody posted that apparently there was an 8 to 10 minute standing ovation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been making the rounds right now along the festival circuit apparently. So her review embargo lifted yesterday, which it reviewed a month early. That means the studio has a lot of confidence in this, and the fact that it's coming out around Oscar season, where you start getting those Oscar noteworthy films that all the film students love to go to and go, oh my god, you haven't seen this, have you? You have to go see the newest movie. It's so fantastic. It's getting positive word of mouth. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, and I posted the review on Omniplex, and immediately people started killing my buzz real quick with their comments, and I'm like, wow, you guys really are a batch of fun, aren't you?
Wait, you've seen it?
No. The review.
People are criticizing his positivity towards the positivity reviews.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of fun those guys are sometimes.
Wet blankets.
Yeah, real wet blankets, guys. Nice job. Saying, oh, well, IGN's not that credible. And I'm like, okay, well, look at Time Magazine. Look at literally almost every other website that has dropped their review and has said it's a fucking great movie.
There's Oscar buzz around Joaquin Phoenix's performance in this movie, which is great because this is the second Joker portrayal in a row, basically. Oh no, not Heath Ledger. I'm sorry, Jared Leto. Either way, this is the second Joker performance that's getting a huge amount of Oscar buzz. I mean, Heath Ledger post-mortem did get the Oscar for best supporting actor, but unfortunately he died before that was received, and that would have been a career rocket ship for him.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Joaquin Phoenix, we don't find him dead in Ariana Grande's condo somewhere or something terrible like that either.
God. Ariana Grande.
I believe Joaquin is really one of the best actors we have today. The guy is fantastic. If you get a chance, he had a small film last year. I think it's You Were Never Really Here or something like that, and he was horrifying in that movie. He was really weird. But he looks incredible in this. And the reviews are saying the same thing, that he's incredible in the film, that He's the standout star of the year. He's a shoo-in for like an Oscar run on this, and I'm super excited to see it. And I'm just going to get ahead of the hate train, and I'm going to answer a few of their questions. Yes, it doesn't. Yes, this could have been a possible film that didn't have to be DC Comics. Have you ever heard of an Elseworlds Tale? You are entitled to your opinion. Yes, it's wrong. It is a good movie. And what was the other one? I was thinking about this on my run today. Let's see. Yes, it is a Joker story, and it's really good. Sorry. So, and it's one of many possibilities of his origin because we don't know them, and because I know those are coming soon too.
Or the people who are like, I don't want to feel sympathetic towards the Joker.
Oh yeah,
I don't really see it that way myself.
It's not. You are not. You can watch a film about a raging asshole and not feel sympathetic for him. It's called a character study. You don't have to feel sympathy for the bad guy all the time.
Right. All these serial killers and serial rapists and murderers, they end up having pretty terrible upbringings. Doesn't mean you have to feel sympathetic for them, but it does give you a look into the causes and the measures that create these types of monsters.
Yeah.
Our RDJ is Robert Downey Jr.
Look, I liked him in Endgame, but
it's Run the Jewels.
Like Oscar
Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels. But like Oscar push, I mean, if Marvel's, whatever. We haven't seen Joker yet, so I can't comment. But if it's a case where it's Robert Downey Jr.'s performance in Iron Man versus what appears to be Joker's, well, apparently, hey, the Mouse has a big checkbook, and they're pushing apparently for Robert Downey Jr. for Oscar buzz for next year. Which, let's be honest, if it really is a case where it's Joaquin, and we still haven't seen the film, against Robert Downey Jr., based on everything we've seen so far, Joaquin is going to win this in like a landslide.
I don't think there's been any Marvel performance. I hate to compare Marvel to DC movies. I mean, whatever. But I don't any of these Avengers films where their performance has been Oscar nominating worthy to myself. They're fun movies, but that trailer and the things that I've seen with Joker, I mean, there is some legitimate like masterpiece case study acting coming from Joaquin Phoenix. This is not made to be a superhero popcorn soda selling type film. This is basically almost like an art film. I mean, it's from one of the greatest directors that ever come out of the movie industry. So,
Todd Phillips?
Yes.
No, Todd Phillips is directing this. Martin Scorsese, is he producing this?
Yeah, he's involved with it. Yeah, that's basically who I was referencing. Sorry.
Yeah, Scorsese was.
I thought he was directing it for some reason.
Yeah, he was originally attached to the project, but he dropped out of it, and they gave it to the guy who did the 3 Hangover films. Hey, but you know what? God bless him, man, because he looks like he pulled it out, man, and it looks really good. And this, I want to see more stuff. I want to see more of this stuff. Like, the interconnected universe, it's fine. Marvel's doing their own little comic book popcorn films, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I really want to see more of these one-off DC films where they can take these characters and they can do something interesting with them. This is a period piece. It's set in the 80s in New York, which, Jesus, the 80s in New York, the police there made the police in Gotham City look like Mayberry. It's insane, man. It's so good.
That's what's so impressive about this medium of comics and these comic characters. It doesn't have to always be superheroes punching other superheroes or anything like that. You get things like this also in comics. I mean, look at things like The Killing Joke and Year One and Sandman, and there's countless others that we could spend hours and hours talking about that isn't just your normal superhero antics. There's a lot that you can use these characters for to express different types of storytelling and different types of in-depth looks at our world and our society and everything else like that. It's not all Joker has to be silly, happy, goofball with the chattering teeth and the bang gun. And that this is another example of what can be done with these types of characters.
Yeah.
The superhero wham, bam, pow, snapping fingers. That's your lowest common denominator moviegoer, money sucker.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I
There
like
isn't.
films too.
No, that stuff's 100% awesome and great, but
Yeah,
this is breaking that superhero stereotype that has been inflicted on these movies within the last 10 years. Mostly the last 10 years.
yeah, exactly. Not every film needs to be a superhero film, and not every film needs to be an art house French film where it's all black and white and they only speak in French, and you have to go watch it with subtitles.
And you have to understand, and you have to be like, the steam rising from the coffee is symbolic of whatever random craziness that you want to kind of put onto it.
Oh my God, I hate that.
It doesn't all have to be, like you're saying, it doesn't all have to be super artsy and the hoity-toity elitist film school nonsense. And it also doesn't all have to be, underwater adventures and spectacle.
Right. And I was reading, it was like, Eric, your boy Eric, he posted up a review from IndieWire of the movie, and I was starting to read the review, and I'm like, wow, this is clearly somebody that got their film degree along with their English degree, and he pulled out his thesaurus to write the thing, because the first paragraph is the most pretentious bullshit that I've read in a long time.
Who's Eric?
Eric, he's in the Omniplex group. I forgot his last name. Or am I thinking of something? I'm probably thinking of somebody else. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't ever go to the Omniplex.
Nice, Jess. Good job.
What?
I don't ever go to.
It sounds horrible. You said you posted a nice thing in there, and people all bash your hash in there.
Oh my God! Yeah, they can be such buzzkills sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, great reviews. Super looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good movie. I'm really positive about it, and I can't wait to see it. Bash your hash. Yeah, I like that, Jess.
The only thing that there's two movies that I know I have to see, and they're going to totally terrify me, and that's The Joker and It. And I totally hate clowns, and I'm really bummed. Talk about bashing my hash and harshing my mellow. These clown movies, I mean, the first It was bad enough, and now I gotta see it again, and now this Joker movie is gonna be nothing but clown. That's gonna.
You always go watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
Pass. Okay.
I'm curious about It, man, because like early word is it's good, but not as good as the first, and Bill Hader steals it. And that It, but that's the same thing in the actual book. The kid stuff was always the more interesting stuff in the book.
Maybe it's different now that we're adults.
Oh well, I certainly hope they did some things different than from the book, because there's some stuff in there in the book where I was like,
No, what I mean is when you're a kid, you see yourself more on the kid side of things, and now as adults, maybe you can see yourself and your experiences with this adult side, and you might get a different. I think I might get a different experience out of it than watching, Judge Harry Stone or whatever from Night Court goofing off against
Night
I love Night Court. But this thing is 3 hours long. It is 3 hours long.
It is 3 hours long.
It is.
Yeah, I think it said 3 hours long when I looked it up.
All right, well, see what happens.
Well, I mean, you got to get the interdimensional space turtle in there somehow. Nobody's read the book but me. All right,
or the shared group sex.
Oh God. Oof.
I didn't see the 80s TV It.
Have you ever read the book?
No, I didn't read the book either.
Oh man. It goes weird, like really quick. It gets really weird towards the end. And I think Stephen King has even said, he was like, yeah, I was on all kinds of drugs when I was
really?
Yeah.
Drugs are great.
Like this interdimensional space. This probably won't. There's no freaking way this happens in the movie. But
I do want to see how they're gonna do in the 80s, the 80s TV show, 80s TV movie. Was it the 80s? It might have been the late 80s. with the spider. I'm gonna kind of see how what approach they manifest that creature.
I hope they don't do the spider thing. Like the spider thing has always been kind of lame to me. And there's a small part of me that's like, yeah, bring on the interdimensional space turtle to fight the spider. Let's do that.
Spaghetti monster.
Yeah, let's go that route.
Maybe it'd be just like instead of like a rat king, you know what a rat king is? Maybe it'd be like a clown king, where it's just a bunch of clowns tied together in a mash to make one giant clown. Just to mess with just that much more.
Yeah. King was on a lot of cocaine back in the day and alcohol.
You say it like that's a bad thing.
Oh, I'm not judging, man. He wrote some of his best books on that.
A lot of the best stuff we've ever gotten from people probably all messed up on different chemical influences. I mean, look at Edgar Allan Poe.
Taylor Brown.
Jess's worst nightmare, a garbage disposal horror movie. It steals your fingers and the money out of your wallet. That is the Instagram post that has gotten the most comments ever for me, was that garbage disposal bill.
I've always meant to kind of go through King's work. I think you've read more of it than I have.
I've only read the Man in Black stuff, the
Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower stuff, yeah.
I've always wanted to read The Stand, but I've heard it's like ridiculously thick. What are some other King stories that will make it to the big screen? Well, they were adapting the Dark Tower to film. I refuse to call what the hell that was the Dark Tower movie because it wasn't. But they were also doing a TV series of Dark Tower for a while. I think they're doing it. They did it The Stand before, haven't they? Like a TV movie?
I don't know. I feel like they might have.
Yeah, but with The Stand, Smotlock, with The Stand, he came out with like a director's cut of The Stand a few years later, I think, that had more pages, like 200 more pages or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I still want to see the TV movie of The Shining. That's supposed to be more closer to the adaptation of the book.
Yeah. Do they use a croquet mallet in the TV one?
Maybe. I haven't seen it.
Oh, I was wondering about it.
I want to know if it gets more into the main character's aggressive side, where he like accidentally breaks his kid's arm and stuff like that.
Ooh. I want to see the new Pet Sematary. I still haven't seen that yet.
The best thing about the old Pet Sematary was the Ramones song. That was awesome.
Yeah.
The best thing about the Pet Sematary movie is that I went to school with the little boy that got ran over by the truck at the beginning of it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah. That movie, I watched that recently because I bought the 4K of it. And man, that movie is that's something.
I bought the 4K of the Matrix box set, and I'll never know what that looks like.
That is awesome. Congrats on that. Is it like each individual movie has its own steelbook, or what's the deal with that? Is it just one giant steelbook?
It's one steelbook. Yeah, it's like a box set.
Okay.
But I think there's also individual steelbooks for each film as well.
There is. Yeah, those were on sale too. But I sent you that because I was like, for $30, dude, you get all three films in 4K. You can't beat that.
It's normally like $75 for $30. I'm in.
Yeah. You should still watch the Blu-ray cuts of that because I think of at least the first one. If I remember right, some of the it's a cleaner cut than like the DVDs that came out a few years ago, than the Blu-ray that came out. Because if I'm right, they use the same print that they use for the 4K. Obviously, it's not going to have HDR and it's not going to look as good. But you should still watch it because it's a cleaner cut, and they put back the original blue tint that was taken out. Because originally in the last Blu-ray set and the DVD set, they put in a green tint to match the subsequent films. So they brought back the original colors.
Yeah, because I saw the remastered 20th anniversary with the Atmos sound and whatever, and there's just all this new detail that I've never noticed before.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like visually, like there's like the very beginning of the movie where Neil's is asleep at his computer. The Matrix code is on the background of his computer. I've never noticed that before. Yeah. And I there's some dialogue that was maybe just too low, and I never heard it before that I noticed for the first time with this. It was great. So, I mean, I have the DVD box set, I have the Blu-ray box set, and now I got the 4K box set. So I'm good. I might just go back and get the VHSs because I'm sick like that.
Rebecca De Mornay.
I remember her.
Yeah.
Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Was that the big film?
Yeah, the girl from Risky Business. God, Risky Business was such a good movie. Early Tom Cruise movie that was great.
Is that the one where he comes sliding in his underwear?
Yeah, to the old time rock and roll.
There was a question earlier in the chat where somebody was saying about the Justice Absolute and how it's been so long and there hasn't been a reprint. If we think there ever would be a reprint, or if it's better just to get the new deluxe.
Right.
100%, I would say get the new deluxe because it is. I want to say it's like 100 pages of material that was not in the Absolute. Like scripts and artwork and character designs and things like that. So
yeah, the new deluxe has a ton of new stuff in it, and you're not going to see that Absolute
reprinted anytime soon.
Right,
we're going to get a Mr. Miracle Absolute before we see a Justice.
Oh, while I'm thinking of it, Gabe, can you do me a favor? When is that Superman Batman Jeff Loeb omnibus coming out? Do you know? Can you check that?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see it on Amazon or IST new releases. And I thought it was coming out really soon.
No, that just barely got announced or solicited. So the Jeff Loeb, Ed McGuinness Batman, Superman, right? That just got solicited.
So
so it's not going to be for a while?
It probably won't be for another 6+ months. Yeah.
That's a shame.
Okay, well let's just let Gabe do his magic and figure it out.
I mean, it just got solicited like last month.
Okay.
Huh.
It is release date is May 20th.
Oh, that's why. Okay, thank you. Shahazarad, yes, I did try New Coke back in the day, like back in 1985. It tasted like Pepsi to me.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It just tasted sweeter.
Oh.
That's all I remember. And here's a question for you, Lou.
Yes.
What's the most overrated horror movie?
That's tough, man.
It's right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's actually really tough. It's obviously subjective because horror.
Texas Chainsaw Murders.
Oh, you can kiss my ass. You can kiss the darkest part of my head.
The darkest part.
That movie is brilliant.
I know.
You just don't like slashers. We've talked about this.
I'm totally teasing you. I
know. You know what? For me, just off the top of my head, it would probably have to go to the Paranormal Activity series.
No!
I hate those movies.
Oh my God, that first one was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I never understood the appeal to them. Those are the laziest fucking ghosts that I've ever seen. They knock stuff down and push things around, and they light a weed on fire. That is the extent of that. I'm watching this going, I don't see what the big fucking deal of this is. There's nothing. It's just terrible.
What are we talking about?
Paranormal Activity.
Oh, okay.
I hate those movies. They're terrible.
Genuinely frightened me.
I was disappointed in Drag Me to Hell. I remember when I went to go see it, it was because everybody was talking about how amazing and crazy and scary it was. And I was like, this is boring.
I like Drag Me to Hell. I mean, it's a Sam Raimi film, so it got really like over the top and weird towards the end. But I dug it.
People in the chat are talking about Blair Witch.
That I think was overrated. I was so disappointed with that. My wife and I went to a theater where we both chose different movies. She chose, I don't know, Pride and Prejudice, and I chose Blair Witch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I came out, and the obvious choice was Austin Powers. When I came out, I said, I gave up the chance to see Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, to see Blair Witch. This thing sucked. I was so disappointed with it.
Blair Witch is just it's interesting because it had a great marketing campaign, and that's more of what got people into the theaters than the actual movie.
Yeah.
It also kicked off that found footage, like horror film renaissance that we got for years on after that.
Right.
Everybody was trying to do these micro budget found footage horror films, and most of them weren't that good.
I can't think of a single found footage movie that was interesting, because the whole idea, you kind of, your suspension of disbelief is broken because it's not found footage.
Right. Yeah. That's the whole gimmick, that it's supposed to pull you in. The only two that I can think of off the top of my head that I thought were actually pretty good was The Last Exorcism. I thought that was really a good horror found footage film.
Yeah, you've told me about that several times.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good kind of twist to the found footage horror style. I dug that a lot. The ending is not that great. Like they had the ending perfect. And then it's produced by Eli Roth, and it kind of felt like at the ending, Eli Roth took over the camera and said, "Let me film the last 10 seconds of this," and just it took a nosedive. Yeah, and then the other one was Cloverfield. I like Cloverfield, the first one. I thought that was pretty good.
Okay. Let's see. Here's a question that we were just talking about. Gabe, what is the difference between the upcoming Loeb, Superman, Batman Omnibus, and the two absolutes already available?
Because the Superman Batman Omnibus is more than just the Jeff Loeb and McGinnis stuff. It is also Venditti's run, I want to say. The Omnibus collects issues 1 through 43, Secret Files 1, and Superman Batman Annual 1 and 2. Where the two absolutes, I think, only is like maybe like the first 24 issues or so. So this goes way past what the absolutes have. I think I'm gonna stick with my absolutes because that's the only run I really cared about was the Ed McGinnis, Jeff Loeb stuff. Okay. Well, then, there's also like the Michael Turner's in there too, and let me look at what else is who's in there. Carlos Pacheco's in it. So I mean the two absolutes is the stuff that I was interested in. I love the cover for the Omnibus though. Like that's my new wallpaper on my phone. I love that cover.
Yes. Rec. Actually, there's 3. Yeah. Rec. I would put Rec in there as well. Rec 1 and Rec 2, which Jed still hasn't seen after I told him to see it.
I had to buy them.
Did you get them yet?
Yeah, I got them a long time ago, but Jenny and I decided we can't really review them because they're only you can't rent them or stream them. You have to buy them, and so we're going to watch them just for the sake of watching them, but we're not going to review them because they're too hard to get a hold of.
You should go. You should watch a Serbian film.
No, I'm not going to do that.
God, no.
You know better than that. So yeah, I've got them both. I'm just gonna watch them and then send them to her, and then we'll just talk amongst ourselves about them. But yeah, I've got them both.
Was Cloverfield? Was that was a found footage movie, right? Or was it the second Cloverfield? One of them was like a found footage thing, wasn't it?
First one.
Was it the first one? That one was decent. That one I remember made a lot of people sick in the theater.
Yeah, there are 3. Currently, there are 3 like in canon Cloverfield movies. There's Cloverfield. There's 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was really good. It was a John Goodman movie.
That was great. Yeah,
it was really good. Yeah, and even that though, that's not technically attached to the main Cloverfield first film. It is kind of. And then there was that one that they put on Netflix. The one where it's in space. That wasn't that good. I can't remember the name of the one that was in space.
Space.
Yeah, well, we know you don't like space.
Space.
Hey,
What, man?
what was that? Oh, that's gonna bother you.
I don't know. It's probably gonna be in the chat in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Paradox?
the Cloverfield paradox, I think, is what it was called.
That's what these guys are saying.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was pretty bad, but that has a direct connection to the first film.
Joe Chip, it's not an issue of my knowing how to download torrents. It's if we review Rec 1, we can't tell people to go out and torrent Rec.
Yeah.
That's not how our review show goes. That's not really something that YouTube would look kindly upon. So it has to be something that's available to people easily to stream or rent. That's how the review show goes. Believe me, these two right here have tried to teach me how to torrent. I know what's going on with that. So
I also try to teach them how to Dougie.
Yeah,
how to Dougie.
the Dougie was harder than torrenting.
I like space fine. I don't like Marvel space. I like DC space. I've decided it's DC space that I like.
DC space.
Okay. And I do like space. Some Marvel space. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, current Marvel space.
Do you like Strange Adventures? Adam Strange.
I like Adam Strange, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm really getting excited for that Tom King, Mitch Garrett's Strange Adventure.
Yeah.
And Doc Shaner.
Yes.
They were telling me about it yesterday, and it sounds freaking awesome. I also heard something about Mr. Miracle Absolute, but you didn't hear it from me.
Somebody said something about Hostel. Yeah, Jeff doesn't do like slashers. That's not his bag.
He doesn't do torture porn.
Yeah, I don't do torture porn or slashers.
Yeah, it's not his bag.
Yeah, Jenny's not into that either.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
We like The Ritual though a lot.
I can't think of my favorite horror movie. I don't know.
That's not really a slasher though, a torture porn. That's a good.
No, I'm just somebody had The Ritual.
Okay.
Talking about The Ritual in there.
Somebody asked our favorite horror movies.
Yeah.
The Black Coat's Daughter.
I mean, I've said it on multiple times. Texas Chainsaw for me.
I can't think of it. I mean, I'm just drawing a blank. I don't really gravitate towards horror films. I don't have anything against them. It just
Texas Chainsaw. What's the other one that I normally say? Rec 2. In no particular order. This is just off the top of my head. Texas Chainsaw, Rec 2, Dream Warriors.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love Dream Warriors. Friday the 13th Part 4.
I think I'm more of a slasher fan, like Luis. I like Jason, and I like Texas Chainsaw stuff and things like that.
And the first Nightmare on Elm Street are like in my top 5. But I know I've seen so many that I know they just flip around in my head all the time.
Smotlock, we actually did review The Ritual probably 7 weeks ago on our show.
You still need to hurry up and watch some Grandma's Boy, Jess.
I know. I actually can. I actually can watch it, not this week, but I think the following week. This week I've got to catch up on Batman movies. Taylor Brown has me watching. We're going to be ranking Batman movies for Batter Days in the Batcave. So I have to watch like 2 or 3 Batman movies that I haven't seen yet.
Which one haven't you seen?
Mask of the Phantasm.
Oh man, that's the best one. You're done with it. You're done there.
Yeah, that's a classic.
That's what he says. He says it's awesome. So I need to watch that, and I still haven't seen Lego Batman movies. So I need to watch.
What about Batman Beyond, like Return of the Joker?
I don't think he said that counts because it wasn't released in movie theaters.
That's fair. Lego Batman's good. It's fun, Jess. There's a lot of deep cuts to Lego characters, and
I think that's what you told me earlier.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I really want to see that.
Yeah,
I love the both the Lego movies.
I still haven't seen the second Lego movie.
Oh, that was really good.
Was it? I love the first one.
Yeah, it was really good. I saw it and enjoyed it. They're so clever.
We're only doing Batman movies released in theaters. Otherwise, we'd be reviewing like 30 movies. Have you seen? So you haven't seen Under the Red Hood yet, Jess?
No.
Oh man, you have to see that. That's good. That is really good.
Oh, the Bad Blood.
Which one?
Bad Blood.
I don't remember that one.
That's the Batwoman one, basically.
I have to put this one up. I don't know why, but that makes me laugh.
Wow.
What ETL just said.
You 30 movies, you lazy fucker.
That just makes me laugh.
When are you guys covering the 1960s Batman? The TV movie.
The TV movie, that movie was released. We'll be talking about it. That movie was released in movie theaters, so we'll be talking about it.
Bat shark repellent. Good times.
I know. That was classic. 8-year-old Jess loved that movie. 13-year-old Jess was really disappointed in that movie.
Golden Age Batman fans like that movie.
Oh my goodness.
I am terrified.
Also.
I am terrified to watch that movie because I used to love that movie as a kid. I am now terrified to go back and watch it now because I know it'll never live up to what my childhood memories of it are.
This is the Batman 66 movie?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's everything a lot of times when you're a kid and you grow up. Just your life experience is changing. Like He-Man's garbage, Thundercats is garbage.
I'm weeping now in anger and frustration, says Taylor Brown.
Well, that was me going back like a few months ago and watching A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I was like, oh, I remember this movie being pretty good. And just, oh, God, this really wasn't that good after the
You're like, wow, this is really homoerotic.
It's just not a good movie in general. I was like, oh, God.
Wait, which movie?
Nightmare on Elm Street 2. The whole movie is about coming out. Like, if you look at the subtext of it, it really is about coming out of the closet. I think we've talked
Dream
about
Warriors is still good, though. I saw that recently, and I still enjoyed that.
Oh, Dream Warriors is badass.
Lawrence Fishburne in that bad boy, too.
Yeah. It also has, like, the best theme song by Dokken.
Dokken.
hey, Dokken was a good band that had a good hit with Dream Warriors.
Holy Diver.
The Batusi.
The Batusi. No, Alice Cooper did Man Behind the Mask for, I think it was Friday the 13th, 4 or 6, one of the two. I can't remember which one. That was a good song. Dokken makes everything better. I'm glad so many people are in agreement with me in the chat about Dokken. I never thought that happened.
It's just such a callback name, just such a 1980s band. It just cracks me up. Joe Chip, I've read it and it's great.
What's that?
Batman 66 Omnibus.
Oh.
I read it and then I sold it to D.H. McAdams, and I think he's enjoying it now.
I think I need to cut down on my omnibuses a little bit more.
Too much?
That, and you know what? I'm kind of really like enjoying the Epic collections a little bit more these days.
Oh, cool. Wow, Cinderella and Rat.
Rat, I remember.
You remember Rat, Jess?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Man. Wasn't there a doc a few years ago about the rise and fall of Rat?
I don't know. I'm not as good as you guys are about documentaries.
I think there was.
Yeah, because Jess still won't see 3 Identical Strangers.
Oh, my wife just saw it and told me about it, and that was enough.
Yeah. Oh, you got to see the Amazing Jonathan documentary.
The what?
Amazing Jonathan.
What's that about?
Good. That looks really good.
It's It's weird. It takes a crazy. It's a documentary that turned into a documentary about a documentary. It's about It's about Major Jonathan is. I've seen him perform before. He's awesome. I loved him as a kid. He's a comedian / a magician, but just like a really unorthodox magician. And about 3 years ago, he was diagnosed with some heart condition that gave him 1 year to live. And he's lived 3 years past that point. And in this documentary, he talks about that while smoking meth throughout the entire film.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
And that's not even the craziest part of the documentary.
I'm gonna see this now.
Yeah, you've actually got my interest. He's smoking meth throughout the whole movie, and he's lived 3 years past. How can he? That doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, there you go, kids. Meth is the secret to longer life.
If you've got a heart condition.
I know a guy who runs Penn and Teller's show here in Vegas. And I don't know how far this really goes, but he told me that apparently Amazing Jonathan was told by his doctor him doing all that coke and meth is what's keeping his heart alive.
What?
That's just hearsay on what I heard.
Wow.
But like I said, that's not even the craziest part of that documentary. Like it makes his left turn and turned into a documentary about a documentary.
I really want someone to take this little nugget right here, this 30-second thing, and make it viral. The meth and coke helps your heart. It just goes viral on the internet, and somehow it becomes this home remedy.
9 out of 10 drug dealers recommend coke and speed for your heart condition.
Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, that's right. Smoke crack and worship Satan.
Yeah, Gabe used to sign off with those words.
Yeah. I need to bring that back.
Eddie Van Halen says he's cured cancer with meth. Wow.
He had tongue cancer or something, right?
Did he? I know he had
Yeah.
cancer. I don't know what type he had.
Yeah, he used to smoke a ton of cigarettes, and he had tongue cancer.
Yeah, he was smoking cigarettes while he would play, famously. He would have it on the guitar.
Right.
Cigarette. He would light
A lot of those guys did.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page, Lou Reed, lots of those guys smoked cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. He injected meth in his tongue. Yeah, I'm good.
Ooh, what?
No, thank you. I'm good.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, Michael Douglas claims that congolingas gave him throat cancer.
Right. I do remember that.
I remember that. Oh my God.
Has anyone heard about Mark Maron's comment about Marvel movies fan base?
Mark Maron?
Mark Maron? Who is that?
Mark Maron was a comic that he never really blew up until recently, and he really blew up because of his podcast. For the most part, he was a failed comic in the 90s, mostly because of his own attitude, because he was known for being a huge, just not a nice person. Over the past few years, though, he's really blown up because of his podcast. He's had a President Obama on the podcast. He's had he's had a lot of big names on his podcast over the last few years. Famously, he had, I think it was, what was the guy that used to hit the watermelons?
Gallagher.
He had, if I remember right, he had Gallagher on his podcast, and Gallagher blew up on his podcast and got mad at him and ran and walked out of the podcast, and he recorded the whole thing. But he's had a ton of celebrities on there, dude. Like, his back catalog of celebrities on his podcast is insane. He's in Glow. He's in Glow. I think he's actually in Joker too, if I'm not mistaken. He's made a comeback over the past few years.
Huh. I have no idea who he is, and I don't really care about it. I'm sure it's a negative thing he said about Marvel movies, and I'm not going to go digging for it.
Yeah. I've never thought he was that good of a comic anyway, but he gives good interviews. Like the President Obama one was actually really good.
I don't really listen to a lot of like the only like celebrity podcast I listen to is Michael Rosenbaum's podcast.
That's a good
played
one.
Lex Luthor in
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. He had Tom Welling on like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
That was a good one too.
He had a Kristen Kirk not long ago. I mean, James Gunn is like one of his like close buddies. He's had him on there. He had who's Samai Gamgee? I can't think of the guy's name right now.
I don't know what you're talking
The guy from the Goonies. He was on there. He gets a lot of good celebrities on there, and they talk about Dolph Lundgren was on there. They talk more about like how they deal with anxiety and mental illness than they do like this is what it felt like interviewing or going on casting calls for films. It's more about how to kind of deal with their therapy and their anxiety issues and things like that. It's pretty interesting, which is way more interesting than like, I did a lot of coke in my trailer in between takes on this movie. No, who cares?
Okay.
All right.
This seems like a good time to talk about InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add another 2% to that. Every quarter there's an every quarter there's an Omniboslive discount code. If you're in the United States and you order $50 or more worth of books, you get free shipping, which is a big deal because it costs a lot of money to ship books. And there's always excellent customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Extra 3% sale till the end of tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's the weekend is the checkout code that you want to use.
Now, do we want to talk about, to wrap the show up, our fundraiser, or do we want to talk about that more amongst ourselves before we make it public?
It is September 1st. We should probably get it out there so people know.
I don't have it.
Were we waiting? Didn't the guy who runs the organization say wait because he had something going on or something?
Yeah, but he never hit me up with anything, and I can always edit it. It won't take much. It won't take anything to edit it if he comes up with something special.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
We are going to
second.
You did what now?
Second annual
Comic Books for Kids fundraiser, Omnibroslive, the Sunday show. The four of us. Giovanni is not here, but he's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to raise $500 for Comic Books for Kids. They are an organization where 100% of the money they raise, 100%, goes to put comic books in the hands of children's hospitals and cancer wards for kids in hospitals, and sick children. They put all their efforts and all their money and all their volunteers, get comic books and put them in the hands of sick children. And our goal is to raise $500. So what are we going to do to get that $500? Two of us are going to review books we don't like while in cosplay. That would be Lou and me. We will be in cosplay reviewing books we clearly do not like. And we can't decide if we should tell you what they are or aren't yet. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Tune in to find out.
Gabe is not a manga reader, so Gio has picked out a manga book for him to read. Gabe will be going to be reading a manga. He doesn't like manga. When anybody's ever a manga comes up, he says, "Ew, gross." That's a direct quote from Gabe. Ew, gross. And actually, Mosen, that's exactly what I'm reviewing.
No, guys. We tried to bark up that tree for Darkhawk for like 30 minutes, and Jess wouldn't have it.
I thought I was reviewing that.
No, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was Darkhawk. I thought we were no. There was two choices. That's right. It was Darkhawk or Nightfall, and you went with Darkhawk.
Well, because Nightfall is 3 big ass omnibuses. That's a lot of.
Because here's the week in geekdom.
What up, Gio?
Hey, Gio.
My computer has been working 45 minutes. It's insane.
And Gio has to review, because he has no heart or soul, he has to review the fabulous movie Inside Out from Pixar, which he doesn't like.
All right, I'm out of this broadcast. But I do have the movie already, and I will watch it. But I kind of do want to get the 4K Blu-ray for it because it's coming out September something. So
it's such a good movie.
Sure, if you guys say so.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and I am gonna get completely dolled up for my cosplay. I still have the link open to get the outfit, so I'm gonna get the outfit today after the show. I forget who Lou is gonna be, but my wife is gonna make me up full on doll face.
Awesome.
I'm gonna cosplay as a woman, not as a man. I'm not gonna be Nightwing. When I say cosplay, I mean like a chick. Come on. Not like Nightwing. I'm not going to be Nightwing. I'm going to be a chick. And I think Lou's going to be a chick too.
Not the first time I've done it on this show.
No, he delivered the goods last year.
I did.
He was a big winner last year when he was Harley and I ate a peanut butter and jelly burger with mustard and pickles.
What would you rather do? Would you rather cross-dress, or would you rather do the burger again, Jess?
Well, I'm cross-dressing this year, so I guess I'll be able to compare. And I'm not going to be who you think I'm going to be. I'm going to be somebody even better, I think. Somebody even funnier.
Big Barda. No, you're not Big Barda.
Big Barda.
Granny goodness.
I would actually like to see that.
This is funny. Whoops, that's not it. Just tuned in, and the first thing I hear is just saying, "I'm going to cosplay as a chick." WTF? We're talking about our fundraiser this year, Thomas Judge. Our fundraiser for comic books for kids. Lou and I are going to be reviewing books we dislike, cosplaying as females. Gabe does not like manga, so he's going to be reviewing a manga book.
It'll be my first manga ever read.
Right, that Gio has picked out for him, and Gio is going to be reviewing a fabulous Pixar movie, Inside Out, that he's already disliked.
Yeah,
and Coco and Up and anything else that has feelings.
Yeah, anything that has feelings in it.
Sure, why not?
My Aunt May costume, if I can be the hot Aunt May from the current Spider-Man movies, yeah.
I thought you were going to say the hot Aunt May from the Sam Raimi movies.
Not that far gone.
No one could be that hot.
Emoji movie.
Oh no, come on. Even I have standards. Come on.
Jeez, yeah. Don't make Gio review that. That's terrible.
I've never seen it, by the way. So.
Oh, I've heard it's
horrible. But I know it's horrible. Yeah.
I can't believe that's the same studio that did Enter Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Blows my mind. In the same year they put out the emoji.
Is that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. In the same year they put out the Emoji Movie and Into the Spider-Verse.
Marissa Tomei is only about 8 years younger than I am.
God, Marissa Tomei is so beautiful.
Yeah, actually, she may only be 6 years younger than I am. Wait, let's see if Siri knows. Hey, Siri. How old is Marissa Tomei?
Marissa Tomei is 54 years old.
Oh, and still
she's only 6 years younger than I am.
So beautiful.
Matlock.
She did a wrestler a few years ago where she played a stripper that nobody wanted to see get a lap dance from, and I'm like, really?
What? I don't think so.
Wait, lap dances? What I miss?
Marissa Tomei in the wrestler was a stripper. She bared it all in the wrestler a few years. And she played a washed up stripper that nobody wanted to get lap dances from in the movie, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Marissa Tomei?
Yeah.
Oh.
She got it on with Whiplash.
Mickey Rourke, yeah.
Whiplash.
I think you're saying her giving lap dances gave her whiplash.
Great movie.
No, wrestling was great. I saw it in theater when it first came out, and that was like the only time I saw it, so I don't remember a lot of it, but
fantastic.
Yep. Wasn't it nominated for something?
It was, but it got beat out. I'm pretty sure. I forgot what it was that beat it out, but I was really mad that year. What was it? It was, I think Mickey Rourke won the Oscar for Best Actor that year.
Let me check.
Well, what's that manga you guys were excited about? That's now being like animated. That what's his name, Judge Ito or whatever, whoever the creator.
Yeah,
Judge Ito. That was the guy for the OJ trial.
Junji Ito Uzumaki is getting an animated adaptation, an anime adaptation.
And the music is being done by the guy that did Hereditary.
Yeah.
There's no way this cannot be good. It looks incredible already.
I mean, the one big asterisk here is that the previous stuff that they did, it was like a 12-episode Junji Ito collection, was terrible. So I'm really hoping they do not repeat that same mistake. It was really bad.
I've heard that. I've heard it's pretty bad.
I hope I don't get hooked on manga and end up selling everything to make room for more manga.
Yes.
It's a deep cut. Gabe's gonna
they're cheap, dude. You know, I mean, especially with my discount at work. But yeah, it's. I think Berserk Volume 1 is the one you told me to get, right, Gio?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
You'll like Berserk though, Gabe.
But then that's not fair.
I have a good feeling. No, he's never read it. I have a good feeling he'll like Berserk though.
No, I'm gonna read something I'm gonna enjoy. I don't want my first manga experience to be like, oh, here's this, this tentacle, monster from space who also has a used car dealership in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or something.
That is real manga.
I think you'll enjoy it, man. It's good stuff. It's up your alley.
The Wrestler was nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actress, but
they didn't win, right?
They didn't win anything.
What beat him out that year?
Let me check.
What year was that?
Probably something like Cloverfield.
2008.
Yeah, I remember getting mad that Mickey Rourke didn't get it for that.
2008? Oh, I felt like it was longer ago for some reason.
2008.
That was 11 years ago, so she was 43. That is kind of old for a stripper, but she looked pretty darn good.
Well, 21 is pretty old for a stripper.
That year, Sean Penn won for Milk.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
That's right.
Can't be mad about that, I guess.
That was a good.
What was it? Oh, and Penelope Cruz won for Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
I have no fucking clue what that is.
Boring.
She's hot.
That movie was so boring.
Did you see it?
Yes.
That's the one with Scarlett Johansson, right? And Javier Bardem.
Oh my god, it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I don't think I've liked any Scarlett Johansson movie that wasn't her as Black Widow. Now that I think about it.
Lucy is a stupid as hell movie, and it's not good at all, but I had a lot of fun with it.
What was that one when she was in Japan with Bill Murray, Lost in Translation?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good movie. I like that movie.
I still haven't seen that.
It's good.
It's good.
The first 5 minutes is just a close up of her butt in bed, so that gets a +1.
I have Ghost in the Shell, and I still need to watch that. I have the 4K. I haven't sat down with it yet. I might do that.
Watch the movies first, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. So Ghost in the Shell or Godzilla tonight, Gio?
I mean, are you in a ruckus mood or are you in a chill state? What's
Ruckus?
ruckus? Then go with
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also suggest you go see Aeon Flux too.
Oh, I did. I saw that years ago.
It was garbage.
I liked it. I thought it was all right.
Did you ever watch the MTV series, the cartoon?
Yeah.
Very little.
Oh, that's upset. I had the box. It's been a while since I watched it, but
Yeah.
it might be just one of those things where me remembering back to watching it might make it better than I think it might be now, but I do want to go back and kind of re-experience that show. Same with like Phantom 2040, if anybody remembers that show.
I'll remember.
Okay, Lou, where can they find you, buddy?
You could find me at CommieScott101 on Facebook and Twitter. You might also be finding me at a homeless shelter this week if this storm ends up hitting us directly on.
I hope not.
Dude, it's up to 180 miles an hour at this point.
Yikes.
The wind, it's ridiculous. Yeah, but CommieScott101 on Twitter is the best way to get a hold of me. And on YouTube, where videos go up Monday through Thursday at 8 a.m. every day, and Friday is a Q&A. This week, depending on how things go, might be a little bit shaky than normal, but we'll see.
Gabe, where can they find you and or the OmniBros Instagram?
On Instagram is Omnibroslive. My Instagram is Gabe Loves 90s Comics, and you can find me in the Facebook Omnibus Collectors group as well.
Okay, groovy tuvy. How about you, Geek and Weekdom?
You can find me on my channel, A Week in Geekdom, here on YouTube, talking about anime, comics, manga, and a bunch of nerdy stuff. A Week in Geekdom.
Nice. And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. So that wraps it up for this week on Sunday Coffee with the OmniBros. Please patronize our sponsor, InStockTrades.com. We love them and they tolerate us, so we appreciate that. And please hit the like button. Please subscribe. You can leave a comment. And let's see, something about iTunes. What about iTunes?
You can review us on iTunes.
Review us on iTunes. That would help us out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can listen to us as a podcast.
Hit the notification bell here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All them things.
The notification bell is a good idea for people who, well, we do the show the same time every day, every week. But it also lets you know in case you forget or something else comes up, you will get notified when each show goes up.
Right.
And then don't forget about the upcoming fundraiser.
Right. And I will be working on that this afternoon, and I'll post it on Facebook. And we'll start talking about it starting tomorrow night at 8 p.m. when we do hauls, previews, and reads on Omnibroslive.
I got kind of a major haul to go through this.
Oh, you do you?
Ooh,
well,
nice.
We had 2 signings, so I got a lot of crazy stuff signed up. I'll show off, and I didn't buy a whole lot, but I got some cool stuff.
Right on, man. Okay, so peace and love. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Marissa Tomei. And
thank you to the strippers.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Smoke crack and worship